Hi, and welcome to Master Your Fishing. Today we're at Whitmore Fishery, where we'll be looking at the importance of using a balanced setup by teaming the correct elastic, line and hooks for success. Do you want to be a fishing master? Then join me in just a sec. No matter what venue you fish, using tackle that's balanced towards your target species is the key to success. You join me today on a typical commercial where I'll run through 2 examples of how to target the fish in this venue. So let's start with down the edge, or the margins. The margins is where typically we're going to find big fish and they're going to feed hard at the end of a session. So not only are you catching large fish, but you're potentially catching them quickly. And the tackle reflects this. So what we have, starting from the hook, is a KM4, which is a super strong hook. You can catch any size carp you're going to hook in these commercials on this without any fear of that bending or breaking. That's coupled with an 0.16 hook length, which is 5 pound breaking strain, and let me tell you, to break that on the pole you really have to pull hard. The main line, as for most of my rigs, as we covered in the previous episodes, is 0.18. Super strong and won't let you down. And then that comes up to one of my personal favourite elastics for catching big fish down the edge, an 18 to 20 solid. That's soft on the strike, but it's got a lot of punch to quickly slow those fish down and get them under control and getting them in the net. For the margin, we're using the Middy Extreme M2 pole. It's super strong, will not let you down, and you'll never break this under normal fishing conditions. And that's to emphasise the fact that we're catching big fish and trying to get them in a fairly sort of speedy time to put a good weight into the net. Coupled with a puller and the 18 to 20 elastic, you'll find hard to beat that pairing. Now that's what I call a balanced setup for big fish. Now let's put it into action. Here we are into a margin fish, taking on the 18 to 20 solid elastic and the M2. Because we're on big gear, you still don't need to pull really hard. This fish will come in quite quickly. Just again, take your time and you'll naturally land it quicker due to the increased strength in tackle. Looks to be a good fish, this. Keep the pole tip nice and low until you need to net it. There we go. A lovely sized margin fish safely in the net. An absolute beautiful carp. You've got to be pleased with that. The next line that I'm going to talk to you about is a 5 or 6 metre line, which I'm going to fish with pellets, where I'm looking to catch a mixture of roach, skimmers and the occasional carp. That's going to be a much finer balanced rig. By finer balance, we've got a lighter hook length. That's an 0.12. We have a 63-13 with a band on, 63-13, 16 hook. I use that for most of my winter F1 fishing and silverfish fishing in the summer. It's a much finer hook length, and clearly it'd be very risky to put that on a heavy margin pole and an 18 to 20 elastic. That would break very quickly if we was to hook a big fish, and would also bump the fish that we're trying to catch because the elastic would be too strong. Which brings us up to our elastic choice on this 6 metre line, which is the Middy Pink Hollow, which is rated 10 to 12. That's soft enough to not bump any roach, skimmers off the hook, but as you'll see when we put it into action, it's more than strong enough to land small to medium and even large carp without too much hassle. So here we are into the fish on my XZ65, my 10 to 12 Pink Hollow and my 012 bottom to a 63-13 size 16. Now, a lot of people would tell you to keep the pole low when playing fish. I think this is a mistake when fishing light. I like to keep the pole up high, so if the fish does bottom you out, you have got the opportunity to drop the pole tip and just give that little bit more so you don't get broken up. But generally speaking, you can land some really big fish very quickly on surprisingly light gear, as long as it's nice and balanced as we've gone through. The secret is just to take your time, don't rush, don't pull the fish hard, and you'll be surprised at how quickly it comes in. We've caught this at the bottom of the near shelf on hard pellets, just feeding a few 6mm over the top, and it looks to be a decent sized carp. One tip I will give is to keep the landing net close to your keep nets, right up until the point you're about to net the fish. If you start trying to push it out into the water, it pushes the carp away from you and it will spook and put more pressure on your line. Just wait until it comes up and net it first time. So there you have a nice sized carp taking on fine but ultimately balanced tackle. Using 18 to 20 elastic does put a lot of pressure on your pole. Whilst you can get away with it with the top of the range, my advice would be to use a margin pole and a top kit that's designed for the job. These top kits are designed to take up to a 30, which means they're more than capable of taking these 18 to 20. They're all reinforced, so we can use the side puller to get the fish under control, coupled with the puller bush. And the top kits are all big bore and free flowing to make sure that the elastic comes out of the end in a smooth and delivered manner. Check these bad boys out, you won't be disappointed. A nice sized carp caught on fine but ultimately balanced gear. Get out there, master your fishing, master those fish.